So you might have heard of Pattaya city here before in Thailand, and if you did, then I can almost guarantee it was mentioned with at least a hint of judgment, because Pattaya doesn't have the best reputation. And well, now I've lived here for over a year, I think I'm finally qualified to let you know what the Pattaya lifestyle is really like, and whether the bad reputation is warranted or not. Starting with... So what is the Pattaya dream? The idea is often you move to Pattaya and spend as little money as possible so you can live like a king. And if you've already got the Thailand itch, then you're nearly there. Because the Pattaya dream, at least in my opinion, is cheap rent and cost of living, life by the beach, good nightlife nearby, and close enough to Bangkok. And it also still has all the Western luxuries that most people coming from the West couldn't live without. I think it provides quite the life if that's what you're into. And it's important not to forget the truths of the situation, because often people will live in a fantasy world and ignore all the challenges and issues that come with living this life. You have to be realistic. I mean, you can't just walk down all the side streets here to get called a handsome man for your whole life now. Can you? Probably best not. At least for your ego anyway. Now on to Pattaya's reputation, because there are a few reasons Pattaya doesn't have the best reputation, and why everybody judges you when you say the city name. In short, it's because Pattaya itself typically gets associated with a heavy nightlife culture, a party or anything goes image, crimes, scams, massive crowds, and sex tourism. I mean, the nightlife here, if you're into that, can be a lot of fun, or at least I've heard anyway. I mean, you have Walking Street and all the other sois and side streets that are calling for you every night, with endless bars and clubs that you'll never get to try them all. And I think because of all this type of fun, this is mostly what gives the bad reputation, because definitely that can attract certain type of individuals, which moves me smoothly on to my next point. Who moves to Pattaya? As for who moves and wants to live the Pattaya dream, I think there's three of the usual suspects. First off, there's men moving for women, aka passport bros, but instead of South America, which that term is more linked with, I'm talking more about the Southeast Asian women and their version of passport bros, which is definitely a thing out here, and it's only getting bigger and bigger. The second type of person will be retirees, moving for retirement so they can walk up and down the beach every day. At least that's my retirement plans anyway. Sometimes with their families, but most of all, what you see anyway, I think it's the old single men that like to move here. It's not uncommon to see a 70-odd-year-old with 2 or 3 models around him. I mean, he's truly living his best life. Clearly. But as you can imagine, this doesn't help with the Pattaya image and reputation. And finally, the third type of the usual suspects to move here are the remote workers, so they're chasing a lower cost of living with warm weather and a beach on their doorsteps. Like me. I'd say those are the typical people that move to Pattaya to live here long term, and I think their reasons would be pretty similar. I imagine there's overlap, because it's a good offer when you think about it. And as for why I moved to Pattaya, it's most of the same reasons. Plus, I live on the outskirts of Pattaya a bit more, but still close enough to the city I can get there if needed, because Pattaya is a lot bigger than you might think. And you can do nearly everything you can think of here. I mean, if you want to party, chill, go to the beach, see some wild nightlife, have some great food, access to fresh seafood, and close by to an island for a day trip or a weekend maybe in Koh Lan, you can. You can do it all. You can also live like a local at the food markets or go full tourist mode and visit the biggest water park here in Thailand. There really is a massive range of what you can do and the type of life you want to live out here. And mainly it's the fact I just wanted to live by the beach when I moved, because back in England I lived in the Midlands, which is as far as you can go and live and be away from the sea in England. So I needed to fix that. And with Pattaya being close to Bangkok and the biggest beach city that's not an island, it quickly made its up on the list of places I wanted to live when I decided to move to Thailand. Now on to the reality, because the Pattaya dream can be true. I mean, it really does depend on what side of Pattaya you want to see, because if you want to walk down the streets and be called handsome man by half the bar girls outside, then you can. And if you want a quieter, chill, laid-back lifestyle along the beach, you also can. You decide. There's different locations in Pattaya that can help you depending on what you're looking for. Say, if you're more into the nightlife and a beach combo, with all the major malls and Western luxuries, then Central Pattaya is for you. But for a more relaxed, more local, family-friendly area, then Jomtien would be more for you. And again, for a more traditional, upscale mix, you could even try North Pattaya. All these different areas offer different things, so don't just think if you move to Pattaya, you're automatically in the mix with all the nightlife, and you're walking down Walking Street every night. You don't have to. There really is a place for everyone here, I think. You just have to find it. And it does help when you know where to look, because there's been a few times I've accidentally walked down the wrong street, and well, that becomes a fun experience. Especially at night, let me say that. But again, that's more in the centre than where I live. And that's it for today's video. So yes, Pattaya does have a bad reputation, but does it deserve it? Maybe partly, but I think that mostly comes from people who come here for only one reason. And then word of mouth gets around once they get back, and then that's what Pattaya gets more known for. And I think wherever those type of people go, they'd end up to the old same old tricks and doing the same thing anyway. It's more the person, not the place. But that's my thoughts anyway. And if you're thinking of moving to Thailand yourself, then check out the link in the description to my website, where you can find my Move to Thailand guide that answers all the questions you might have before you move countries. From what visa to get, the current cost of living in Thailand, what the dating scene is like out here, and even more. I mean, it's a full guide. So if that interests you, check it out. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video.